Creating a Peaceful Home: 7 Gentle Habits that Transform Daily Living for Seniors. Picture this. You walk through your front door after a long day, and instead of feeling overwhelmed by clutter or endless tasks, you're greeted by a sense of calm that wraps around you like a favorite blanket. The surfaces are clear, everything has its rightful spot, and there's a gentle rhythm to your space that mirrors the peace you've been searching for. Today, I want to share something special with you: 7 surprisingly simple habits that can transform not just how your home looks, but how you feel within its walls. These aren't complicated systems that require expensive organizers or hours of exhausting work. Instead, they're gentle, time-tested practices that honor both your energy and your desire for a harmonious living space. I recently spent time learning from someone who embodies this peaceful approach to home life. An 80-year-old woman whose modest home radiates the kind of tranquility many of us long for. What struck me wasn't perfection, but rather a thoughtful way of living that made every day feel more manageable and meaningful. If you've ever felt frustrated by clutter that seems to multiply overnight, if you've wondered how to maintain your independence while keeping your home comfortable, or if you simply want to discover how small changes can create big improvements in daily life, then you're in exactly the right place. The habits I'm sharing today don't ask you to overhaul everything at once. They're designed for real life. Your life, with its unique challenges and beautiful imperfections. Whether you're dealing with limited energy, physical changes, or simply want to create more ease in your daily routine, these gentle practices can be adapted to fit exactly where you are right now. What I love most about these habits is their kindness. They're not about judgment or comparison, but about creating small pockets of peace that ripple out into larger feelings of control and contentment. So let's explore together how 7 simple shifts can help you create the calm, organized home you deserve. Habit 1. Creating homes for your belongings. Have you ever spent precious minutes searching for your reading glasses only to find them in the most unexpected place? Or felt that familiar flutter of frustration when you can't locate your favorite pen or that important piece of mail? There's something magical that happens when every item in your home has a designated place. Not just any place, but its own special home. This first habit is beautifully simple. Everything you own should have one specific place where it lives, and after each use, it returns there without fail. Think of it like tucking your belongings into bed each night. They deserve their own comfortable spot to rest. I learned this from watching how naturally some people seem to move through their homes. The TV remote always rests in the same spot on the coffee table. House keys have their dedicated hook by the door. Reading glasses return to the same side table each evening. It's not about rigid rules, but about creating gentle rhythms that support your daily flow. The beauty of this habit lies in its ripple effects. When you know exactly where something belongs, putting it away becomes automatic rather than a decision you have to make each time. Your mind doesn't have to hold on to mental notes about where you left things. Instead of scattered energy, you develop a sense of calm efficiency that carries into other parts of your day. Start small and be patient with yourself. Choose just 3 items that tend to wander around your home, perhaps your phone, a favorite book, and your everyday pen. Assign each one a specific home base, somewhere convenient and logical. Then, each time you use these items, practice the gentle ritual of returning them to their designated spots. You might be surprised by how this simple practice begins to quiet the background noise of daily life. No more searching, no more that nagging feeling that you're forgetting something, no more energy wasted on frustration. Instead, you'll find yourself moving through your home with greater ease and confidence, knowing that everything has its place and you have the gentle power to maintain that peace. Habit 2. The 1-minute magic rule. Life often feels like it's moving too quickly, but there's profound wisdom in recognizing the power of a single minute. This second habit revolves around a simple principle. If a task takes less than 1 minute to complete, do it immediately rather than adding it to your mental list of things to handle later. Imagine you've just finished your morning coffee and notice the empty cup sitting on the table. Instead of telling yourself you'll wash it later, you simply rinse it and place it in the dish rack. 30 seconds, done. Or perhaps you spot a few pieces of mail that need to be sorted, a task that takes less than a minute but would weigh on your mind if left undone. The magic isn't in the individual tasks themselves, but in preventing the accumulation of small, undone things that can make your home and your mind feel cluttered. Each small task you complete immediately is one less thing creating background stress in your daily life. This habit is particularly meaningful for those of us who want to maintain our independence and sense of capability. Rather than feeling overwhelmed by a growing list of tasks, you handle things as they arise, maintaining a sense of control and accomplishment throughout your day. Think about the last time you went to bed knowing there were several small things you needed to do. Maybe dishes in the sink, clothes draped over a chair, or paper scattered on a table. Did those undone tasks affect the quality of your rest or the feeling you had waking up the next morning? When you practice the 1-minute rule, you're not just keeping your home tidy, you're keeping your mental space clear. You're telling yourself that you're worth the small effort it takes to maintain order, and you're creating an environment that supports rather than challenges your daily well-being. Start by identifying the small tasks that tend to accumulate in your daily routine. Maybe it's wiping down the bathroom counter after washing your hands, putting the newspaper back in its basket after reading, or folding the throw blanket after your afternoon rest. These tiny acts of completion create a sense of finishing each moment fully before moving to the next. Habit 3. Choosing quality over quantity. In a world that often encourages us to have more, there's something deeply refreshing about discovering the peace that comes from having just enough. This third habit invites you to keep fewer possessions, but to choose each one with intention and care. This isn't about deprivation or living with less than you need. Instead, it's about recognizing that every item in your home takes up not just physical space, but mental and emotional energy as well. When you surround yourself only with things you truly use and appreciate, your home becomes lighter, easier to maintain, and more genuinely comfortable. Consider your kitchen, for example. How many gadgets sit unused in your cabinets? How many dishes do you actually use on a regular basis versus how many you own? There's no judgment here. We all accumulate things over the years for perfectly good reasons. But as our lives evolve, so can our relationship with our possessions. The key is asking yourself gentle questions about each item. Do I use this regularly? Does it make my life easier or more enjoyable? If I were moving to a smaller, cozier home, would this be important enough to take with me? These questions aren't meant to pressure you into getting rid of everything, but to help you recognize what truly adds value to your daily life. When you keep fewer things, several beautiful changes occur. Cleaning becomes simpler because there are fewer items to move and dust around. Finding things becomes easier because there's less visual clutter competing for your attention. Decision-making becomes less overwhelming because you have fewer choices to navigate. This habit also honors your energy. As we age, we naturally want to spend our time and strength on what matters most. By surrounding yourself with carefully chosen possessions that serve your current life, you free up energy for the relationships, activities, and experiences that bring you joy. Start with one small area, perhaps a single drawer or cabinet shelf. Look at each item and ask yourself when you last used it and whether it supports your current lifestyle. Keep what serves you well and consider donating what might better serve someone else. The goal isn't emptiness, but intentionality, a home filled with things that genuinely belong in your life. Habit 4. The 5-minute evening reset. As evening approaches and the day begins to wind down, there's something deeply satisfying about closing each day with intention. This 4th habit involves spending just 5 minutes each night gently resetting your main living spaces, creating a peaceful transition from day to night and setting the stage for a fresh tomorrow. Picture this. Before you settle in for the evening or prepare for bed, you take a brief, unhurried walk through your home. You might return a few items to their designated places, wipe down the kitchen counter, fold and put away the throw blanket you used while reading, and straighten the cushions on your favorite chair. 5 minutes, no more, just enough to restore order without exhaustion. This isn't about achieving perfection or deep cleaning. Instead, it's about the gift you give to your future self, the version of you who will wake up tomorrow morning. Imagine starting your day in a space that feels calm and ready, rather than in yesterday's scattered remnants. Many of us have experienced the weight of waking up to dishes in the sink, clothes draped over chairs, or paper spread across tables. These reminders of unfinished business can make mornings feel heavier before the day has even begun. The 5-minute evening reset prevents this, creating breathing room in your daily experience. The ritual itself can become quite meditative. As you move gently through your home, returning things to their places, you're not just organizing objects, you're completing the day's activities and preparing your space for rest. There's something deeply satisfying about this simple act of closure. This habit is particularly valuable for maintaining independence and a sense of control over your environment. Rather than letting tasks accumulate until they feel overwhelming, you handle them in small, manageable moments. Your home stays comfortable and welcoming without requiring marathon cleaning sessions that might exhaust your energy. Choose 3 or 4 simple tasks that take less than a minute each. Perhaps clearing the coffee table, putting dishes in the dishwasher, hanging up a jacket, and switching off the lights in unused rooms. The specific tasks matter less than the consistency of the practice and the gentle intention behind it. You might find that this brief evening ritual improves not just your mornings, but your sleep as well. There's something peaceful about ending each day knowing your home is tidy and tomorrow is set up for success. Habit 5. Defining spaces with purpose. Have you ever noticed how certain rooms just feel right for their intended activities, while others seem to pull your attention in multiple directions at once? This 5th habit focuses on giving each area of your home a clear, specific purpose, creating spaces that support focused, peaceful activities rather than scattered, overwhelming ones. When spaces have mixed purposes, our minds often feel mixed up too. The dining table becomes a place for eating, bill paying, craft projects, and mail sorting, making it difficult to feel fully present during any single activity. The bedroom corner accumulates books, clothes, exercise equipment, and yesterday's coffee cup, making rest feel elusive. Instead, this habit invites you to consider each area of your home as having one primary job. The dining area is for sharing meals and conversation. The reading corner is specifically for books and quiet reflection. The bedside table holds only what supports good sleep. When spaces have clear purposes, both your environment and your mind feel more organized. This doesn't mean you need separate rooms for every activity. That's not realistic for most of us. Rather, it means being intentional about how you use the spaces you have. If your kitchen table serves multiple functions throughout the day, that's perfectly fine, but try to fully clear it and reset it for each different purpose. Think about how this applies to your most used spaces. Does your favorite chair have a clear view and comfortable lighting for reading? Is your eating area free from distractions that pull attention away from enjoying your meals? Is your bedside area set up specifically to support good rest without work materials or stimulating items? When spaces serve single purposes, you naturally become more present. Meals become more enjoyable when eaten in a space dedicated to nourishment. Reading becomes more absorbing when done in a spot designed for quiet focus. Rest becomes more restorative when your bedroom is arranged specifically for sleep and relaxation. This habit also makes maintaining your home easier. When each area has a clear purpose, it becomes obvious what belongs there and what doesn't. Items that drift into the wrong spaces are easier to spot and redirect to their proper homes. Start by choosing one space that feels chaotic or scattered. Clear it completely, then thoughtfully return only the items that support its intended primary purpose. Notice how the space feels different when it has a clear, focused role in your daily life. Habit 6. Tonight's gift to tomorrow. There's something wonderfully caring about the act of preparing for tomorrow while today is ending. This 6th habit involves spending a few quiet minutes each evening setting up small things that will make the next morning smoother, calmer, and more pleasant. It's like giving yourself a gentle gift that you'll discover all over again when you wake up. Think about those rushed mornings when everything seems to go wrong. You can't find the right clothes, your morning routine feels scattered, and you start the day feeling behind before it's even begun. Now imagine the opposite, waking up to find that your evening self has thoughtfully prepared what you need, creating space for a peaceful start to your day. This preparation doesn't need to be elaborate or time-consuming. Perhaps you set out comfortable clothes for the next day, ensuring they're weather-appropriate and clean. Maybe you prepare your morning medications in their weekly organizer, or set up the coffee maker so it's ready to brew with the simple push of a button. You might check that your keys, wallet, and any needed items are in their designated places, easily accessible for tomorrow's activities. The beauty of this habit lies in removing small decisions and search tasks from your morning routine. When your future self doesn't have to hunt for items or make choices about what to wear, there's more mental and physical energy available for starting the day with intention and calm. This practice becomes even more meaningful as we age and may need extra time to move comfortably through our morning routines. By handling these small preparations the night before, you create buffer time and reduce the potential stress of rushing through necessary tasks. Evening preparation is also an act of self-care and self-respect. You're acknowledging that your future self deserves consideration and kindness. You're taking small steps to ensure that tomorrow begins as smoothly as possible, regardless of how you might feel when you wake up. Consider what regularly causes morning friction in your routine. Do you often scramble to find specific items? Are there small tasks that feel more difficult to handle first thing in the morning? These are perfect candidates for evening preparation. You might also prepare your environment for comfort, adjusting the thermostat so the house will be comfortable when you wake up, setting out a water glass for morning hydration, or arranging your morning reading material in your favorite spot. These small touches create a sense that your home is ready to welcome you into a new day. Habit 7. Gratitude for life's simple companions. The final habit might seem unusual at first, but it contains profound wisdom about finding contentment in daily life. This practice involves recognizing and appreciating the everyday objects that serve you faithfully. Your favorite coffee mug, the comfortable chair that supports you during evening reading, the warm blanket that provides comfort during afternoon rests. We often take for granted the simple items that make our lives more comfortable, functional, and pleasant. Yet these objects are quiet companions in our daily experience, deserving of recognition and care. When you begin to appreciate these humble servants, your relationship with your possessions transforms from one of unconscious consumption to mindful gratitude. This doesn't mean talking to your belongings or creating elaborate rituals. Rather, it's about pausing occasionally to notice how certain items contribute to your comfort and well-being. The reading glasses that help you enjoy books and newspapers. The comfortable shoes that support your daily walks. The kitchen tools that help you prepare nourishing meals. When you approach your possessions with appreciation rather than taking them for granted, several beautiful things happen. You naturally take better care of items, extending their useful life and maintaining their function. You become more selective about what you bring into your home, choosing items that you can genuinely appreciate rather than accumulating things impulsively. This habit also connects to the previous practice of keeping fewer but better chosen possessions. When you truly appreciate what you have, you need less to feel satisfied and content. The items you do keep become more meaningful because you've acknowledged their value in your daily life. There's also something psychologically soothing about this practice. In a world that often emphasizes what we lack or what we should acquire next, taking time to appreciate what we already have creates a sense of abundance and completeness. Your home begins to feel like enough, not because you have everything, but because you fully recognize and value what you do have. Try incorporating small moments of appreciation into your daily routine. When you use a favorite kitchen tool, take a moment to notice how it makes your task easier. When you settle into your comfortable chair, acknowledge how it supports your relaxation. When you pull on a warm sweater, appreciate the comfort it provides. This practice can be particularly meaningful for those who have lived through times of scarcity or difficulty. It honors the journey that brought you to your current stability and recognizes the simple abundance present in having what you need. Your journey to peaceful living. As we reach the end of our time together today, let's take a moment to revisit these 7 gentle habits that can transform your daily experience of home and living. Each one is simple enough to start today, yet powerful enough to create lasting change in how you feel within your own space. First, we explored creating designated homes for your belongings. That simple practice of ensuring everything has its own special place to rest. Then, we discovered the magic of the 1-minute rule, handling small tasks immediately rather than letting them accumulate into overwhelming piles of to-dos. We talked about choosing quality over quantity, keeping fewer possessions but selecting each one with intention and care. We discussed the 5-minute evening reset, that gentle ritual of closing each day with order and opening tomorrow with peace. We examined the power of giving spaces clear purposes, allowing each area of your home to serve you more effectively by focusing on single activities. We explored the kindness of evening preparation, setting up tomorrow for success while today is ending. And finally, we considered the beautiful practice of appreciating the simple objects that serve you faithfully every day. These aren't just organizing tips or cleaning strategies, they're pathways to creating more ease, more peace, and more contentment in your daily life. They honor your energy, your independence, and your desire for a harmonious living environment. Most importantly, they can be adapted to fit your unique situation, physical abilities, and lifestyle preferences. You don't need to implement all 7 habits at once. In fact, I encourage you to choose just one that resonates most strongly with you right now. Maybe it's the practice of giving everything a designated home, or perhaps the 5-minute evening reset calls to your heart. Start there, be patient with yourself, and allow the habit to become natural before adding another. Remember, these practices aren't about perfection, they're about progress and peace. Some days you'll follow them easily, other days you might need to be gentler with yourself. That's not just okay, it's human. The goal isn't to create a perfect home, but to create a more comfortable, manageable, and peaceful daily experience. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Which of these 7 habits speaks to you most strongly? What small changes have you already made in your home that bring you peace? Your experiences might inspire and encourage others who are on their own journey towards simpler, more intentional living. If this video has been helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. We're here to support you with practical, gentle approaches to creating the comfortable, peaceful life you deserve. Every like and subscription helps us continue bringing you content that honors your wisdom, your experience, and your ongoing journey of growth and discovery. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Here's to your health, your happiness, and the peaceful home that awaits your gentle attention.